Alright guys, this is a 7.1 homework. Let's go through this. Hopefully together you guys will see it's not that bad. Alright, so question number 1. It's asking us to graph that equation. So to graph that equation, it's always important to remember you need points to be able to figure out what the equation is. So it's useful just go ahead and plug in points to see coordinates that exist. If you watch the lectures, you'll know that this is a linear equation. So all we need are 2 points, okay? And the reason why I know it's linear is because the variables have the power of 1 each, so we're good. So I'm going to pick any 2 numbers for x. Remember, you always have to keep in mind, again, if you watch the lectures, that these coordinates come in pairs. So you can't just say, oh, x equals 1. You got to say the coordinate, because they come in pairs. So if you say let x be 0, and then you plug it in, so let's say y equals 0 plus 8, that's obviously 8, right? So then the solution 8 means that the coordinate is going to be 1 point on this graph is 0, 8. That's a solution, an ordered pair. Together, 0, 8 form a point on that graph. What if x was 1? So we're going to say, okay, so if x is 1, we're going to replace 1 with x, or x with 1 rather. 1 plus 8 is obviously 9. Oops. This is an equal sign. Equals 9. So it's going to be 9. So when x is 1, y is 9. Boom, you got your second point. And you don't need any more points than that. That's all you need is 2 points. So now we're able to graph this. So I'm going to click on enlarge here. Now, to learn how to graph this, remember, you guys, you have to click the graph that you have. I know it's linear by looking at the equation. So I'm going to click the line, 1. Then any point I want. So I know 0, 8 is one of them. So 0, 8 is here. And then pick another point, right? Another point is 1, 9. 1, 9. And if you look here, guys, up here in the little right, you see what coordinate is. So that's 1, 9. Click there. I hit save. And I'm done. And I go ahead and check answer. And it says excellent. Alrighty. Let me clear this up. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to, again, plot 2 points. So let's I always like to use 0, guys. 0 is a really nice one. So y equals to 1 over 6 times 0, which is obviously anything times 0 is 0. So boom. So this is a coordinate. 0, 0 is a coordinate. Now, in this particular case, I'm not going to use 1, because then I have to somehow graph a decimal, and I don't like graphing decimals. I'm going to actually, believe it or not, use a very specific number. The equation is 1 over 6x, right? So I'm going to use the denominator. I'm going to plug in 6, the denominator, see what happens. Something really cool. So y equals to 1 over 6 times 6. Well, how do you multiply a fraction with a whole number? You just multiply the whole number to the numerator. That's it. So it's going to be 6 over 6, which becomes 1. So it no longer, there's no fraction, there's no decimal, nothing. It just becomes a nice, pair of whole numbers or integers. And that's it. I got my 2 coordinates. I know it's a linear equation. So now I'm ready to graph. So I'm going to click here. First one is 0, 0, right? So I'm going to click on that. And remember, look up here to the top right in this little section to know where I'm clicking. So 0, 0. And then I click, what is it? 6, 1. So that's 6, 2, 6, 1. Boom. And we're done. It's as simple as that. Alrighty. Let me clear this. I'm not going to watch no stinking video. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So let's see. You're watching one already, aren't you? So I'm going to plug in 0. So y equals to 5 minus 0. What's 5 minus 0? That's easy. That's 5. Okay. So we know that's one answer. 0, 5. It's one ordered pair. Let's plug in 1. Y equals to 5 minus 1. That's 4. That's easy. So 4, and we're done. So let's go ahead and plot those points. This is pretty simple, guys, right? It's pretty cool. I'm going to click here. The first one is 0, 5. So up here. And then the next one is 1, 4. 1, 4 is right there. Boom. That's it. Nice work, guys. Next question. All right, let me clear this up a bit. Ironically, they ask you to go ahead and they tell you to plug in a specific. So the first 3 examples we did, I was just picking up whatever number I chose. I always chose 0 because why not? And then I chose another number, 1 or 6 or whatever. It doesn't really matter what you pick, but this time they're telling me to use -2. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to do the work here. -2, because that's x, right? The equation is x squared minus 1. So -2 squared minus 1. Common mistake I've seen people make. They put this in their calculator, and this is how they write in their calculator. Their calculator is going to say -4 because you're writing negative like that. You're supposed to put parentheses around it, okay, guys? So it's actually +4 minus 1, or 3. So this answer is 3. So let me go ahead and write 3 here. All right. And it's going to make me plug in a bunch of numbers, I bet. Watch. Let me plug in -1 here verbally. -1 squared is +1, and 1 minus 1 is 0. Oh boy. And then 0 squared is 0. 0 minus 1 is -1. Here we go. 1 squared is +1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Please don't make me do more. Okay, yeah. 2 minus 1 is, 2 squared is 4. And 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay, thank goodness. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you this, guys, even though this wasn't part of the lesson. When the variable is raised to the second power, this makes, draw. Okay, this makes it curved. And if it's to the second power, we call that a parabola. It looks like a parabola like that. So now that I know it's curved, and of course you didn't know that. By the way, the y power is always 1 in almost every example that we're going to do in this class, in college algebra. So let me take out a draw. All right, so let's click here. So if you notice that there are all these different types of graphs, we're going to want the curved parabola one because it's the second power. Boom. And now I plot the point. So the first point was -2, 3. So -2, 3 is here. The next point was -1, 0 here. And then 0, -1. Okay, they don't only need to use 3. Then why would it make me do 6 of them? Whatever. So then I check my answer. Well done. I'm going to clear this up. So I'm going to see if I can do this verbally. This was easy, straight line, right? 0 plus 6, I think you guys know that's 6, right? Let me get the draw. 0 plus 6, remember I'm going to plug in 0 into this variable. 0 plus 6 is 6. The next one, I'm going to plug in 1 into this equation. So 1 plus 6 is obviously 7. I'm going to plug in 2. 2 plus 6 is obviously 8. Please don't make me do more. Please don't make me do more. 3 plus 6 is 9. And then 4 plus 6 is 10. This has to be the last one. They can't make me do this all day. Let's see. Yes, thankfully. So I'm going to just plug in 2 of them. Remember, this is a straight line because it's x to the 1 power, right? So then we're going to plug in 0, 6. 0, 6. Y-intercept right here. Boom. And then 1, 7. Boom. That's it. So here, this is raised to the second power. This is going to be a curve, a parabola. So let me just go ahead and put the drawing board. So it's going to be -7 plus 5. It's going to make me plot a lot of points, I bet. Squared. So remember, to do this, we first figure out what -7 plus 5 is, and then we square it. -7 plus 5, remember, parentheses first. -7 plus 5 is -2. And then -2 squared is +4. So that's our answer. Let me click out a draw. I'm saying this verbally. -6 plus 5 is -1. -1 squared is +1. -5 plus 5 is 0. And 0 squared is obviously 0. -4 plus 5 is +1, and +1 squared is still +1. -3 plus 5 is +2, and +2 squared is 4. And now we're going to plot this parabola. This is a curve, right? So we're going to click on the parabola one. And we're only going to need 3 points if I recall. So let's go ahead and put negative 7, 4. Negative 7, 4. Remember, look over here. So negative 7, 4. And then negative 6, 1. And then negative 5, 0. And that's it. Same thing here. Well, it's taken to the third power. So they're kicking it up a notch, right? Alright, so let me clear this up. I'm going to say this verbally. So I'm going to plug in negative 3 into this expression. So negative 3 to the third power is negative 27, I believe. Let me make sure of that. I'm pretty sure it is, but just in case. Negative 3 to the third power is negative 27. And it stays negative because you're multiplying negative 3 times. So 3 negatives stays negative. And then we add 3, we're going to get negative 24 here. Negative 2 to the third power is negative 8. Negative 8 plus 3 would be negative 5. Negative 1 to the third power is negative 1. And negative 1 plus 3 would be positive 2. 0 to the third power is 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. 1 to the third power is 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. Goodness, thank goodness. Okay, so notice how the power is now to the third power. This is no longer a parabola. To the third power, it's going to be cubic. And that's what a cubic function looks like. It looks like that. So I'm probably going to erase this equation from you guys. So you don't have to worry about this one. But it will look like that one. Boom. Then we plot points. So negative 3 comma negative 24. And then negative 2 comma negative 5. Wait, yeah. Negative 3, negative 24, and I put positive. Let me clear. Sorry. Negative 3, negative 24, way down here. And then negative 2, negative 5. That was almost made a mistake. And then this is negative 1, 2. And then 0, 3. So you have to plot 4 points. Yeah, I'm going to definitely take this one out. So you don't have to worry about this one, guys. Alrighty. Let me clear this up. So for these, remember, guys, from the lesson, we're going to plug in f of 3 is asking us to replace 3 into the equation. So it's going to be 4 times 3 squared plus 5 times 3 minus 1. This is a calculator question, right? So 3 squared is 9. Okay. 5 times 3 is 15. 9 times 4 is 36 plus 15 minus 1. So it's what, 50? I believe it's 50. Let me double check my calculator. 36 plus 15 minus 1. Yeah, it's 50. So we're going to go ahead and plug in 50. 50. Negative 2. We're going to do negative 2 instead this time. So it's going to be f of negative 2 is going to be 4 times negative 2 squared plus 5 times negative 2 plus, minus 1. I can't erase when I use this drawing thing, so it's gonna, if I do, it erases everything. So it's gonna be negative 2 squared is actually positive 4. And then 5 times negative 2 is negative 10 minus 1. 4 times 4 is 16. This is really just minus 10 minus 1. So 16 minus 10 is 6. 6 minus 1 is 5. That one's easy. So we'll put 5 here and see what happens. Well done. Let's clear this up. We're going to graph. I'm just going to click graph. I don't have to do all that, right? Okay, good. So I'm going to plug in 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. So it's going to be 0, 1. Oops. Clear. Parabola. 0, 1. And I'm plugging 1. 1 squared is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. So 1, 2. And then I'm plugging 2. 2 squared is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So 2, 5. Okay. I might get rid of Let me see, 9, because I don't want to repeat this again. What was the question? I'm sorry, I'm going to go back for a second. I'm going to definitely get rid of 7 and 9, so you won't have to see those. All right, how about this one? 10. Let me see 11 quickly. Yeah, so I'll leave those two. So 10 is going to be what we did a second ago. I'm going to just verbally do this. I'm going to plug in 8 into the equation. 8 minus 5, that's 3. So we're going to plug in 3. Oops. Right. Okay, and then the next one would be -1 plugged in, so -1 minus 5, which is -6. And the last problem, this is a new equation now. We're going to plug in 8 in there. So 5 times 8, which is 40, and then 40 minus 4 should be 36, right? And then finally, 0 times 5 is 0, minus 4 is some -4. So, alrighty. So we're done with 7.1 homework. I'm just going to go quickly remind myself. It's number 7 and 9. Okay, so alrighty guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys for 7.2 homework.